Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday morning. Welcome to our live stream. My name is Tyler, and I'm going to be helping navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures. It's going to be a good time, so consider sticking around. We're going to be answering questions. We're going to be going through ICT concepts, order flow, order blocks, fair value gaps, all that good stuff. So stick around, consider hitting the like button, subscribe, and we are going to have a good time today. If you're looking to take your trading to the next level, you can do so by using the code DTJ. That's going to give you anywhere from 5%, 30% off on Take Profit Trader. And currently, Apex has just launched their 90% off sale. This happens maybe once every other month. Once every other month, I'd say, probably. Once every 60 days. That is $18 for a 50K account. I went ahead and bought a couple myself this morning, but you can use the code DTJ. That's going to give you anywhere from that 5% on the other prop firms to 90% off your Apex evaluation account. With that, let's go ahead, open in prayer, and then we're going to go ahead and get started here this morning. Father, we honor you this morning. We thank you for your faithfulness and kindness and goodness, Lord. Thank you for how you sustain us through this week, Father, through the trials, tribulations, through the ups and the downs. Father, today I declare that we will finish strong. We will see this day through, and we will rejoice on the other end of it. We declare that in Jesus' mighty name. And everyone said, amen. Amen, amen. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you're having a good day today. What we are going to do is take a look at the market. I admittedly am in a trade right now. I am in a trade. I will explain to you that we just ran the London low here. And when we inversed this fair value gap right there, I took a long. So I have been in consolidation right now, and we might be looking to break out of that. We'll see. I'm looking at this high or these highs over here as a potential area of interest. We'll see if we have an opening range gap. If I want to hold it through that opening range, we'll see. I may close it early before the open unless I see the market give me something that I like. So we'll see how that works here. But let's take a higher time frame look at the market and put together some type of narrative on what price may want to do. We did run all-time highs after the market closed yesterday, and since midnight we have sold off here, and we are sitting right around the midpoint of yesterday's range. I want to see this hold if I'm going to see higher prices. Other than that, really anything's possible. Consolidation could be in here. But if we bump a little bit higher to the weekly time frame, and we drag a fib from the top to the bottom, and we do a 20%, we are sitting right at 20%. 20 and 30%. So we are in the potential area where we could close for the week, meaning we could just have more of a seek and destroy type of day. Not sure. We'll take a closer look and try to gauge what that could be. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we are still inside that 4-hour fair value gap that's sitting right here. We've been in there since Wednesday. We created it on Wednesday at 10 p.m. and Thursday we were in it, and Friday we are still in it. So do we go lower? I'm not sure. This candle here does not say lower. We filled the fair value gap, but we have also hit all-time highs. Looking at the hourly, we have this hourly BISI right here that I drew out yesterday, and we are still staying above the midpoint of that level there. We've tagged it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times. and the bodies have stayed above that midpoint. To me, that's strong. That's a retracement style of price action with the potential of it moving higher. We'll see if it wants to do that or not. Dropping down to the 30-minute time frame, we have our sweep of liquidity right here, equal highs. Looks really good for a sell-off as we go down to a lower time frame. And again, anything in here is possible because we could potentially be in consolidation. We'll see if that wants to happen. We need to drop down to find out what the narrative on price wants to be. So right now, I have a bias towards London high. We've already ran London low. Do we go lower? I think we could, but I think we might come back up and visit this area before we do. This is kind of my narrative. I would want to see this, then this, or this, then this. London high is being one of the options for an area of interest. Do I ever share a trading journal? Not really, because usually the things that are very important to me, I end up doing a video on. Honestly, my journal is probably my YouTube channel on the things that are important to me. We still haven't ran this high on the lower time frame. I'm looking at my other chart on the screen that I have the trade on. I'm currently in a long. We ran London low, and so I want to see it run back up to the new day opening gap. That's where I want price to go. New day opening gap, and we have a breaker right here. We have a breaker here with London highs. So narrative-wise, I would like to see a pump this direction before any type of sell-off. I could see price going either direction right now. There's a little push. See if it will continue for us. London low again. Why I'm looking at a long key level. Want to see it run for liquidity. There, it did grab a little bit of liquidity. I just did not take anything off. So I've marked out our London high, our London low. I've marked out midnight open, which is sitting way up here, and our opening range gap from 4:15 p.m. to wherever the market's going to open at 9:30. Thank you, Octavian. Appreciate it. I did end up selling one at that high. Once it went back up there a little bit, I took one contract off. I have one contract remaining, just a small position since it's pre-market. Where are we at here? Insane. There we go. That sweep of liquidity, that small sweep, is also a breaker. 3 minutes till the market opens here this morning. Ken, I hope you didn't overtrade this morning. I think I'm going to hold this through the open. Let me see here. 15-minute. No, maybe not. It does look heavy, doesn't it? Oh, way to go, Ken. Congrats. I need to see this close green, or I'm going to close it before the market opens. I'm going to close the trade. Good decision. It didn't run the low, though. My stop loss was at the low. We'll see if it runs the low. It re-ran London low. Chuck, welcome. We are looking, we're looking at the Nasdaq. NQU 2025. That looks really good for a long, but probably not gonna, probably shouldn't do it. I think we got some news today. Excuse me. Let's take a look. What do we got for news? Friday morning. Durable goods at 8:30, and that's it. Yes, there's benefits to taking days off. I think when you trade less, you'll make more, but you need to be able to recognize the trades that you want to take and wait for those only. That's the short answer. Five-minute swept the low. We're in consolidation right now. Honestly, the narrative I want to see is I want to see price move this way before we move that way. As far as price moving the other direction, I would use this as a breaker area right here. Low, high, lower, lower, low, or low, high, lower, low. It's really messy, but I think this is where we're gonna go. I'm gonna take a long right here, just 1 micro. I'm gonna let it expand higher and show me it wants to go, and then I will add another contract. If it doesn't, then I'm in 1 micro right here.
Order submitted.
Looking at those equal highs at either, we got some right here at 390, 393, but I really like the London high at 413, 412. I want to see it get through this inversion right here. We have a sweep on the 30-minute right here. This is our sweep at London. Oh, got tapped out there with a flash candle. That stinks. All right, I'm going to sit on my hands. Wait till I got a better read on the market. We did sweep the 15-minute high. These relatively equal highs here. I think it has decided the direction. Let's see, where was our first? Here's our bearish breaker right here. High, low, higher, high. We'll see if it stays under 930. If it can find resistance under 930, we may look at participating. But still going to wait. If it doesn't get up to here, then I'm not going to be interested. And if it blows right past it, it's why we're sitting out. That's why we also didn't chase. No chasing allowed. Man, ES looks great to the downside. It looks great to the downside. We're going to wait for this 15-minute candle to close. So I will not take a trade for at least the next 4 minutes. We do have a previous day low, but we also ran the previous day high. If you watch my video on previous day highs and lows, there's only a 10% chance that it runs both of them. 11% chance. Could it do it? Absolutely. I'm not saying it can't. But because we're in consolidation, I'd say we have a higher probability of that happening, for sure. I just haven't done the studies on, out of all of the double break days that we've had in consolidation, how many of them were in consolidation? I don't know. I haven't done that study. There's our tag of 930. I like this inversion. I already said I'm waiting till the next minute, so we're going to give it one more minute. But I do like this inversion. It's in line with the narrative that I wanted of price coming up to London high before we can see it come back down. But we're still going to be cautious and wait and see. I don't want to be frivolous in my clicking of the buttons. I like that wick right there. I like where we're closing above 930. I'm sorry. I'm going to take a long. Another small position, but I do like this. 15-minute time frame also closed green. We swept liquidity on the downside. 15-minute candle closed green. 5-minute candle has not given us an order block yet, so we are in it early based on a 5-minute time frame. I don't know if today is one of those days where we hold for the big move or not. We swept liquidity down here inside this accumulation stage. I'm treating this as manipulation. We have an inversion to the upside. At a minimum, I'd want to see it hit the new day opening gap. I'm going to add one more contract. I was only at one there. I like the idea of this still pushing higher. I wanted to see it push through this inversion fair value gap and reach for the new day opening gap low and high, sitting right here. We got relatively equal highs sitting right here. They're sitting right at the new day opening gap high. That's kind of that area right here. Right here is kind of where I'm tracking. We'll see if it gives it to us. $94. Target's right there at $394. Okay, we are above the inversion fair value gap. I want to see that hold and not close inside it. Gonna move my stop to break even for any type of reactions that may be negative at this point. I don't want it to hit my stop. If it does, I need to have a stop loss at break even. All right, we closed above the inversion fair value gap and are just shy of that internal swing high. I wanted to push for that internal swing high. That candle's looking good. Let's see if we can get we need a new high right here. We do not want to see a lower low. All right, there's our new internal high. Let's see if we can push to the new day opening gap. Beautiful execution. One contract left. I'm gonna set a target at 412 for London high. As far as proper stop loss management, we are at the low of this green or the black candle. So that's where we would want it anyway for proper management. It could turn on us here, but I want to see if we can get the continuation towards London high and the previous day high again. Way to go, Ryan. Way to take a 1-to-1. That's what it matters right now. Start building your wins on top of each other. Build those wins one win at a time. That's what matters right now. We're at 25 handles, folks. 25 handles on this trade. London high would give us roughly 60 handles for a win. This is SodaStream. I make it myself. Water, bubbles. I add wild orange essential oil and then a drop or 2 of lemon juice. It's really good. I just decided I didn't want to have coffee today. I got to prove to myself that I can stay away from it. London high to me is the obvious target here. Let's jump to the 15-minute target and see 15-minute time frame and see if there's anything that could stop it. We have a last 15-minute fair value gap sitting right here. We have a 15-minute fair value gap sitting right there that we tagged. We'll see if it holds or not. And I may close my position. Let's see how this candle closes. Need a new high. There we go. Nice, aggressive. Let's see a fair value gap take place right here. Meaning I want it to be a very large candle for the option of a fair value gap. We need to break through that 15-minute. And then we got the equal highs that are sitting right over here. Stop is now going to go to that low of that down close candle. It's common for it to stop right before it hits its target and give a retracement. I'm just hoping it doesn't hit my stop loss. And it probably is right here. Yep. Stop loss hit in profit for 20 handles. Well, no. It was more than that. Not sure exactly what it was. It was at 90. What did I get in at? 60. 30 handles. And that's why you move your stop loss up, because you don't know how far down it could go in that retracement. It's going all the way back down to that first presented fair value gap, or that last order block. Let's see if that whole order block holds. If it gives us an inversion to the upside, we could potentially replay that. I'm going to add to this again. This is probably emotional. I'm being honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to get out. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it, folks. That was an emotional decision. I closed everything. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it hit the target. I feel like I cut myself short early by not allowing for the retracement with the expectation that we were still going to hit that London high. But then I'm like, what am I doing? So we just closed the trade. There's no reason to take unnecessary losses. ES hasn't really made any new highs over here. In fact, it looks like it's going the other direction. I did make a new high, barely. That was, yeah, I should have held through that. I think it should still go. At least that's what I'd want. I'm out. I'm not going to replay it. Not going to mess around with it. I can feel the emotions on my end. Watch it hit it with aggression. I'm telling you. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. Why did you sell it? That's one of those areas where it's like, you know, you're not wrong in selling it where you did, but you need to also understand, I'm talking to myself, that price doesn't run in a straight line. It gives retracements. So when you get the retrace, or when you get price action going against you, you got to have the fortitude to say, you know what? This is how price moves. Here's my target. It's probably going to still hit it. So take a deep breath and allow for price to come back against you. In this case, I didn't do that. So even though we have a winner, even though I covered the previous loss plus some, I don't think I executed this correctly. Profit is better than to be right. I think there's levels to that, Octavian. Because at the same time, when I'm trading, I'm not trading for profits. I'm trading to follow my rules. So if those rules lead to profit, I would say that's better than following my rules and having a loss. I'll say that. That seems more appropriate. Now that we've come up to this level, let's bump out to the 4 hour and see where the 4 hour closed. The 4 hour closed green and swept these lows. Still haven't hit London high. That should be grabbed. The 4 hour or the 1 hour is still bullish. So I don't know if I am going to go short here. There's just nothing showing me short. ES is showing short. ES looks very bearish. And we got so much low resistance. Look at this hourly time frame. Look at all of that. Look at all of that. That just looks low, 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 low. I mean, that's like perfect. I mean, look at these 4 hours. These are going to be ran today. This has to be ran. That's just too juicy of levels. Why do I say that? Because there's stops there, there, and there. And price is going to aggressively run that. I almost guarantee that. I'm probably going to see if I can play this. If it gives me a setup, I think that's where we're going. Now that we came up to my level, I wanted it to hit London high, but I did say we have a 15-minute fair value gap sitting right here. SIBI. Oops. We did tag the breaker. Oh, look at those 2 5-minute candles. That's not good. Let's see if it tries to hit it here. So I see two sides of the market right now, folks. I see two sides of the market. I see a bullish narrative and I see a bearish narrative. I played my bullish narrative. So far, the rest of my narrative was seeing price move lower like that. Do you see that? Did you see that flash of a candle? So now that we went higher, now I want to see it come back lower. Yes, I would prefer to see it hit London high. I really do want to see it hit that. Let's watch the 5-minute. Yeah, I mean, ES looks too good to go short, too good to go long. Look what it's done. It's not moving higher, but what is it doing? It's passing time. Why do I say that? Look at this. Look at ES. And I'm not trying to convince you otherwise, because if your model's doing it, do your model. But we sweep high here, we sweep a high here, and we're not moving higher. It's grabbing liquidity, passing time, grabbing liquidity, passing time, grabbing liquidity, passing time, while at the same time leaving all of these higher lows. So in my mind, it's just a matter of time when it wants to do that. And so my question is when is that time? Like, I wouldn't want to trade any of this right there. That's just nasty. But it's ready to do something. The question is when, and when you start seeing it, be ready, because that's probably where it's going to go. The bullish, if this closes the way we do, then this turns into an order block. Now that turns into support, even though we have these nasty black wick candles. So I'm not saying I'm favoring one side or the other. I'm literally saying I see both sides right now. I see how price could go higher and how price could go lower. And honestly, I'm glad I'm out of my trade at this point, because I have some uncertainty on which direction it's going to actually go. I like the idea of it still hitting London high. I want it to hit London high. But now we're somewhat consolidating right here. That's right. You were reading my mind, vintage trader. At the same time, we're also at all-time highs. So with all-time highs comes more all-time highs. That's just the truth. You can see a legitimate short and it just not do it. There's our tag of London high. I legitimately don't know if I could have held through this right here with that final contract. Especially seeing those 2 5-minute candles right here. I'm just being honest with you. That would have been concerning. So it tells me what? It tells me that it doesn't matter what the candles look like. If you have a clear draw on liquidity, buck up and hold for the move. There it is. Ideal TP taken. While we're here, folks, go ahead and hit the like button. Once we hit 75 likes, we will do our daily affirmation. Got a good one for you. Got a good one that ends on a Friday. A good one for a Friday, I should say. Midnight open is still a potential target if it wants to continue higher. And then after that, we have all-time highs. At this point, folks, I'm kind of just letting time pass. If I'm a ES trader, I would not be trading. That just nothing looks good in ES right now. Nothing looks good in ES right now for me. This would be the low. This is the high. We're looking for it to break out of this kind of range. But this is a sign of a stage 2 distribution. So we have our accumulation right here. We have our smart money reversal. We have stage 1 distribution, and stage 2 happens after consolidation. So I think lower prices. If there's other ICT traders that are on ES, I can almost guarantee you they're looking for the price to move lower. No, those are something that I'm testing out. It's called, what is it called? Market time cycles. Market time cycles. They're by the trader day. You have to understand liquidity and how price will run for liquidity, and run for liquidity at different sessions, and that's really what it's outlining for me. I don't like it on my main chart because it's just too busy. It's just a little too busy. But you can see each section we have, this is the accumulation, this is manipulation, this is distribution. Blue, red, green. But then you have a higher time frame that outlines the higher time frames. This is from 7, I think it goes to 11:30. So during this cycle, we're in the distribution stage of that time cycle. If ES comes up here like Ken's wanting, I honestly like this level on ES right there. It's anchored to Thursday, 8:40 p.m. That low. That's the low of a breaker. It also overlaps nicely with this consolidation right here. And if we come up into that level and start displacing in the other direction, I would treat that as the real move. Distribution, yeah, I mean that's AMD. I talk about AMD all the time, just not clearly in those words. Here's an example of AMD. A stands for accumulation. M stands for manipulation. D stands for distribution. Price always moves in this way. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It's not as obvious when you're in seek and destroy conditions like this. This is seek and destroy, not very fun. Accumulation, manipulation, continued manipulation, distribution. This one looks pretty right here. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Oh, this one's even nicer. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. The key is making sure it lines up with time. So when the manipulation, I want manipulation to happen in the macro or coming out of manipulation at the macro. That's where I look for time alignment. So I saw this as manipulation, and I waited till the macro, 9:45, and that's when we came out of when we were coming out of it, and I felt like we could keep going. Yes, but trading day is not a cycle. Can be AM session versus PM session. London session versus AM session. Each of those is a time cycle. A trading session, time cycle, period of time, broken down into a series of 30-minute sessions, hourly sessions. So see how we're now forming the structure of potential reversal? That's my breaker. When price displaces below this level, comes back up to it, that's where I want to go short. If it doesn't give it to me, then we remove it. But this is just showing the idea that I have in mind right now based on what the chart's showing me right now. The chart might change and then I change things. Vintage trader, it takes time to learn to backtest efficiently. But if you do it, you'll get better at it. You see how ES continues to grab just a little high here, a little high here, a little high here. All this is telling me to wait. Personally. Sorry, James. Give yourself time. Give yourself permission to not understand it and permission to have time to learn it. Most of the frustration comes when we had expectations that weren't set in reality. AKA, when I first started, I was confident I was going to be profitable in 4 months. Quadruple that. That's how long it took me. 18 months to start making money. We need 15 more likes, folks, and then we'll do our daily affirmation. It's going to be a good one. Maybe I should put on some music, huh? Here's one of my trader friends. Let's see what they're doing. Took a long, and she's still looking for more longs. She's not looking for shorts. Interesting. Oh, it was Lumi. I don't know if she's... I'm not on it anymore. Tiana's in a short. She trades ES, I'm pretty sure. So it makes sense. ES looks like perfect for a short, but it's just I'm not seeing it right now. This is worship music, Kachi. Yes, sir. 10:45, let's do it. James Perry, I think I saw your comment earlier. Sorry about that. Do I have any advice learning ICT? You're almost done with 2022 mentorship on YouTube, and I don't know where else to go. It's very hard with ICT because there's no structure. All the content, everything you need to learn is there. You just need to take the time and go through it all, unfortunately. The other option is you can find content creators that have done that very thing and have put everything in a concise, condensed manner. I'm one of those people. I have everything in our Purpose-Driven Trader Academy. You can go that route. Or you continue to go through his content. I mean, those are really the only two options. If you feel like you've gotten a good handle on his content from just the 2022, which, okay, if you're gonna pick another year, go to 2024. That's where I would go. I think 2024 was good. If you're willing to go through it all. But everything that you need to learn to become a profitable trader, James, can be found on the internet. You just got to do that work yourself and find it. One more like. Give me one more. Somebody hit the like button and we're doing our daily affirmation. Come on. Just do it. There we go. All right. Oh, it's dropping too. Let's do this real quick. Today's daily affirmation, based on July 25th. I don't run aimlessly. I run with purpose, focused, disciplined, and driven by eternal reward. My eternal reward, every step I take honors the one who called me to the race, and I will finish strong. If you're going to take something today, take out, I will finish strong. I will finish strong. Hear yourself say it and say it with me. I will finish strong. This is based on 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. It says, do you not know that those who run are running for a prize? Let me read it actually word for word here. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. It says, don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away, but we do it for an eternal prize. So I run with purpose in every step. I'm not just shadow boxing. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified. So, is this an eternal prize in regards to trading? No. Is he talking about something else? He's talking about an eternal reward, which is your salvation. But if you feel there's purpose that the Lord is asking you to take trading into something, this is part of that eternal reward. You have to be faithful with everything He's putting in your hands. So how are you being faithful with trading? How are you being faithful with that? It doesn't matter the mess ups that happen in between. It doesn't matter if the market takes your money today or tomorrow. It matters how you finish the race. Do you get back up? Do you try again? Look at that. We got some crazy price action going on here. I like that. This looks beautiful. Okay. So I'm viewing this wick as manipulation, grabbing the liquidity. It did it on ES as well. So at this point, in the next 15 minutes, I want to see this keep its high. I don't want to see it come back up there, and I'll feel confident about a move lower. I wonder if Tiana's still in her short with that wick. Unknown name. Are you watching back and forth between streams? Who's the fastest runner in the Bible? Vintage trader. I'm already laughing. I will finish strong, Jackie. That's right. Yes, I do, James. 5 days a week. Give me a second, folks. My wife is calling. All right, what's the answer? What's the answer, Vintage Trader? I missed it. Yes, Chris. I'm waiting for the macro. I'm hoping that high stays in and we kind of start fading. Seems like Lumi Traders had her analysis more correct. I don't know if it hit her target though. I'm waiting. I'm waiting here. I just see the structure for a downside move. No. Not everybody in the chat, James, but that's what I teach. I was bearish in the first place, Ryan. I explained at the beginning what my narrative I wanted to see in price. The narrative I created, I said I saw bullish reason and I saw bearish reasons for price action. So I put together my narrative. I said I want to see price, since it ran London low, I said I think that's the low for right now. I want to see it show me it wants to move this way. I wanted it to hit London high, and then I wanted to see it roll over for lower prices. That's the price that I want to see happen. She's on her way to pick you up. My kid said, John, they're watching. Did John say it? Was it Elijah? Didn't he beat Peter to the tomb? There's some good Bible jokes out there. I'm gonna pull some up. Who was the greatest financier in the Bible? Who is the greatest financier in the Bible? All right, I think this is the manipulation, guys. I do think we're going to run lower here. 5 minute looks great. 15 minute looks great. 30 minute has a sweep of liquidity and potentially going to close bearish. Yeah, I like this. The greatest financier in the Bible was Noah. He was able to float his stock while the whole world was in liquidation. That's funny. Why didn't they play cards on the ark? Why didn't they play cards on the ark? Because Noah was always standing on the deck. Who's the smartest man in the Bible? I'm waiting right now. I think for me, what I want to see as far as price, we're in consolidation right here. I can't use that. So really where I have my initial breaker is my point of interest to show that we're going to turn the other direction. If this truly is a reversal, does it matter if I get in here or here? If it's going to go way down here? No, not really. But I feel like the breaker that I have right here would give me more confirmation that I am on the right side. So I'm not as worried to try to get that position right here. The only reason I'd want to try to get a position right here is if I think it's only going to go down partially and then move back higher, right? That would be the only thing. Who was who was the smartest person in the Bible? You ask? Well, let me tell you. It was Abraham. He knew a lot. That's so ridiculous. Hopefully you guys know what I mean by that. Lot was his brother. Oh, I got a whole list of them. So dumb. What's Eve's favorite food? Ribs. What kind of man was Boaz before he got married? He was ruthless. That is so ridiculous. Okay, that's it. I'll do one more. One more. You probably heard this one. Why did Jesus drive a Honda but didn't talk about it? Why did Jesus drive a Honda but didn't want to talk about it? Because he didn't want to speak of his own accord. Okay, we're done. We're done. We're done. Those are too cheesy. David, that's funny. What was my bias for today? My bias was I wanted it to run to the London high here, and I'm looking for a reversal here. So we played the long right here. We played that trade higher. Now I'm waiting to see if price wants to head down. Thank the Lord, the pain has stopped. Maybe we'll do cheesy joke Fridays or something like that. Cheesy joke Fridays. All right, the only other reason I think we go higher at this point is midnight open. So I'm still okay with allowing it to reach for midnight open and still give me my sell. Because midnight open hasn't been tagged. It's since market came since the midnight opening price, it moved below it at 12.23 and hasn't come back to it yet. And pretty common, you'll see price want to reach for that level. And I bet you that's why Lumi's going long. She's using the midnight open as her draw on liquidity, her draw of interest. Where is it on? Let's find it on ES real quick. There's the midnight open for ES. Where's London high? We ran London high. London high has been ran on ES. So London high has been tagged. The body's basically closing on it. Now above it. We'll see if it wants to run for midnight open. The thing about the AM session is if we have a higher target and you see an aggressive move lower, for example, sometimes price, those will all be fake moves lower for the only reason I feel like those are movie titles on my screen behind me. It's not, it's a window looking outside. But what will happen during the AM session is it fakes these lower moves because it still has higher targets, and then it will in the PM session literally run through everything. So if we don't get the move here in this basically in the next 10 minutes, which I don't think we are. I think it could happen around 1, 2, or 3 p.m. That's what I would be looking for, 1, 2, or 3 p.m. And that also would set up for a 20%, the TGIF, ICT's retracement model at the end of the week. Because that level was way down here, where it would end up at the end of the week, and we are just expanding potentially towards midnight open and all-time highs. Give me one more second, folks. Is it dropping? Is it collapsing? Chris 9, no, it's an, I don't color anything, it does it automatically. It's a indicator. At some point, you only can do so many Bible cheesy jokes that if we do them all, you could almost do them all in a day or two and you'd run out. Thanks, David. We're not really getting the move that I want right now. I'm getting the feeling that it might happen in the PM session. So we're going to give it here a few more minutes. If not, I'm probably going to call it a day, or at least for the session. I have other things that I need to get done today. How do you get started with Apex? Seems to not work for me. TMG, if it's your first time learning the UI, the interface, the user interface can be somewhat not intuitive. but once it does, it works. I mean, it should work. I just bought some this morning. It is by far the best deal anywhere to do it for that. It's a great deal. I've seen that one, my mic light. What does gold look like? From a higher perspective, this is probably going to be ran at some point. Too smooth. Right now it's selling off. Ooh, nice market maker sell model. My guess is it's probably going to find support right here. This is the 1 hour time frame. Oh wait, we are moving. I can see this just running right here. I will take a small entry if it gives me a fair value gap entry, but I don't think it's going to give it. I think it's just going to shoot straight lower right here. Here's the short. I think this could be the short on ES. We'll see if it follows through or if it's just going to give us that little wick right there. I'm watching that level there. We didn't get an SMT, I don't think. We did get an SMT here. Alright, I think I'm gonna do a small short right here.
Order submitted.
There's still a potential for this pushing through this level and moving higher, so that's why I'm only doing a small position.
Order submitted.
still think I could be early. That's why I'm only doing one contract. No, David, this is a YouTube channel on YouTube. It's called Lowly FM. He's given us permission to play his music on our channel. Not looking good. I really want to see this not move any higher, obviously.
Order submitted.
I'm gonna add one more contract right here. Hopefully I'm right. It closed below that green candle. We hit a breaker. I want to see it at least run to this low. And these equal lows right here. This is going to be a shorter trade for me, folks. I'm not going to be able to stay that long. So if I can get a payout right there, I'll probably
Order
take that.
submitted.
As many as you want, Gravel. Not liking that. We really haven't displaced lower on ES. I don't like that. It could be. It also could be the beginning of a reversal. Yeah, the reversal, the manipulation was the candle that we looked at before. The 1034 candle with the expectation that it was going to continue higher. That was the manipulation in this case. At least that's how I'm looking at it. I could be wrong. I did say that I may have gotten in a little early. I think I'm going to close this trade and I'm going to call it a day. I do have to leave. I think it will go lower. I think it will probably potentially stop me out. I just closed my trade, full disclosure. I do have to step out, so I'm gonna call it a day here, guys. So I hope you had a great week. Keep staying focused, finish strong. Let's go into next week with a good attitude, good focus. And let's rock and roll here next week. So God bless, stay safe, and we will see you all next week. Take care.